Dan podcast ini tajangan khas oleh Adele Law LLC, sebuah syarikat yang memberikan khidmat konsultasi untuk perkara-perkara legal dan terutamanya syariah law.
Korang boleh follow mereka di social Facebook, Instagram dan TikTok @adele.law.llc ataupun langsung laman adelaw.com.sg.
Dan korang juga boleh book appointments WhatsApp di talian 83997923, 83997923 atau walk-in blok 190 lorong 6 Tua Payoh unit number 02-512.
Welcome back to Next Home Talk Show with me, Ashraf Osman.
Faizal Rahim.
And I'm Irwan Jumat.
And for today's episode, we're going to speak in English because our guest also
No choice. I mean, you want to talk Malay also can lah.
Can lah.
I'll just wait for your side. Let me know.
So we are with Johnathan, the co-founder for GRVTY Media and also podcaster in Daily Catchup, right?
Yes. Hello.
Welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks very much.
Hey, how are you, bro? How's life for you right now?
Right now, it's cool. Can you tell me something a bit meta first? When is this episode going out?
When? Next
Yeah.
week, right? Next Thursday.
Then there's some stuff I can't talk about yet.
Oh, lama, serious.
If you delay a little bit, we can talk about different things.
Alamak.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this a request from you? We can do it?
No, doesn't matter. I'll just omit certain things.
But never mind. Actually, to give some context, for me in TCF, right? I received this particular email before from GRVTY Media, you know.
Oh.
Okay. Then I see, okay, we can work
So from
together.
Johnathan himself?
No, I don't know. I have no
Okay,
idea.
okay.
And then after that, I kind of stalk lah. GRVTY Media, I see, and then I saw this video Kusester. Oh, Johnathan, the co-founder GRVTY Media. Oh, familiar, huh? So it's like a company that I work with before lah, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then from there I see, this Johnathan like podcaster also familiar like influencer like that already, you know. Like the level high already. Then I go into Daily Catchup. The views go 153 subscriber already in Singapore. So I'm actually proud and honoured to have you in the
Thank
in
you
the
very much,
studio,
guys.
bro.
I'm very honored to be invited to be here as well.
So how long you started Daily Catchup already, bro?
Daily Catchup not very old. I think it's 2020. I would like to think. It's not in its initial form. Daily Catchup used to be daily, and it's a one-man show.
Oh, really?
One-man show.
Yourself?
During COVID, we wanted to make like a tonight show. You know, when Trevor Noah during COVID, you go in his living room and you do.
Yeah.
So we want to do something like that because everybody else, every day the news is how many people die, how many beds left in ICU. Then it feels like very bleak. Then the government keep changing the safety measurements, right? Like 3 people can meet, then 4 people, then tomorrow can buy groceries, and Friday can already, you know? Just stuff like that. So
Those were
we
the
thought
days.
we kind of distilled what's important and then we try and add sauce to your day lah. That's why catch up.
Daily catch-up.
So it's a daily catch up. So we did overnight. So someone filmed it in the evening because we needed to wait for the government to release the numbers.
Yeah.
And what are the new measures and stuff like that. And so we did that first. We collect the data and then we script in the evening, film at night, edit through the night, post in the morning. Then that was where the first daily catch up came to be.
So that's your first office?
That was at home. We were COVID stuck at home, bro.
Home.
So
you host that show lah?
No,
first?
Daniel.
Oh, Daniel, I see.
Yeah.
Then when you start to get involved to be one of the hosts?
So interestingly, it was actually MCI back then, where they were interested in what we were doing and they wanted to support the show. But then because Dan had no like other media background, he was always behind the scenes, and so they asked whether I could build something, right? And so like how can I get more traction from this? Because honestly, at that time, the thought was that after COVID, we're gonna end the show, we're done already.
Okay.
Right, but then so government got a bit interest, right? So we will try. And so what I did back then was that I try and get I get a bunch of like think tank people then influencers, good looking people, like what we did in Real Talk, for example, right? Where Jay Rasif and Saffron and I came. And so we tried to get a bunch of these people and then we screen tested them. All of them were really good. But I think we couldn't find the chemistry that we were looking for. And at that time, I think in Singapore, there was no podcast to reference also.
Okay.
So we were just like kind of looking around, what does it look like? And a lot of the podcasts is 1%, 2%. And we think there's no longevity in the 2% podcast. Especially if sponsors come in, then you get like a lung doctor. Then, you know, a lung doctor is just going to drop medical facts. Then what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Then how do I get a consistent viewership? We cannot, ma. So we wanted to make sure like 4 or 5 people were on set at all times. And so we went through rounds and rounds of people that were very gracious in lending us their time to screen test for this new show when nobody knows what's a podcast is. Like when I'm trying to, at the time we didn't even call it a podcast, right? We just call it a daily catch up. We call it a talk show because podcast was not really a thing yet.
Yeah, correct.
So we Yeah, and so I was looking at the clips and I feel like that's not it. And I was talking to my content strategy team. Back then there were like 4 of us. And so I said, y'all understand what I'm looking for? And then they're like, yeah, I think so. We are hoping for this. I was like, okay, so if y'all claim y'all understand, let's film. Then at least we can show people, say, these are the dynamics we're looking for. Because some stuff can train like in king one now.
Yeah.
So then the 4 of us filmed and then when I watched the first car, I said, okay, this is episode number 1. We found the crew already.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you look at the Daily Catchup people, even if you have been following Singapore YouTube, you may not recognize a lot of them because they were always behind the scenes people. They were content strategists. They were the people that filmed documentaries for me in Millions of Singapore.
Okay.
They were the people that tell stories of entrepreneurs on Falcon Post, which are my other publications as well.
For Falcon Post, it's before Daily Catchup, right?
Yes, Falcon Post was the mother brand. Falcon Post was before me, bro.
Oh,
Falcon Post was started by my partner without me.
I see. Okay, so
Yeah.
the focus is more on editorial and
Back then, lah.
back then,
yeah,
lah.
I was
Okay.
supposed to. He asked me to come in to help him run some kind of sales or create the video component of Falcon Post back in 2017 when I was going to quit our previous job. Then he poached me and asked me to be a partner. So back then I was not very interested yet, lah. So I said like, I don't know, man. Like entrepreneurial content, cool lah, but not fun. It's just cool.
What do you do before involved on this?
Yeah, your background.
What's your background like?
So I worked in an influencer marketing agency.
I see. I know.
So back then it was quite fun because they had some scandal. I mean, I won't name the company, don't ask me, okay? But easily searchable lah, yeah. So back then they had some, they had some like scandal that leaked lah.
Okay.
So before I joined the company.
Okay.
So I saw the group chats that were leaked out. Then like, I mean, maybe many of us saw the group chats like cause Kepo ma, right?
Yeah.
So I read the group chat and I saw the dynamics of it. I'm like, it reminded me of my family business. Like people looking out for each other. Yes, mistakes were made, right? We fucked
Okay.
up. But then I see them like take care of each other, check in on each other. And I feel like, wow, that reminded me of my family business. But especially as a young man, I felt like my family business was not something I was particularly excited about because we sold like mannequins and like shop fittings, hangers and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, I don't know how to do better.
Okay.
It feels like everything will be my parents' connection. Then I join and do what? Right? So, but then I did enjoy being in a family business because family business, there is no question of intention. There's no question of conviction. We get it done no matter what.
Yeah.
Right? So I applied and I was very lucky. I applied to be executive and then just nice the co-founder decided to interview me as opposed to the sales director. And then at the end of the interview, they told me, hey, I'm looking for a country manager actually.
Oh.
Then my first thought was like, then why you waste my time? Like clearly I'm a fresh grad.
Yeah.
You're not gonna hire me as a country manager, ma, right? But then she just sat there and looked at me. Then I thought maybe just try lah. So then I shifted my weight around. I thought if she wanted me to get out, she would just tell me thank you for coming.
Yeah.
So I just tried interview for country manager, my first job, bro. Yeah. So
Which year was that, bro?
Quite high.
Which year was that?
That was 2015,
And how old are you back then?
25.
25
25
country
years.
manager lah.
Yeah, I mean back then I think that's the fun part of being a startup, lah, right? Like you know a little bit, then let you pave the way. And I think
True.
I'm always grateful to them.
Learn the hard way.
Yeah, like trial by
25.
fire, but trial by fire every 5 days. Got one new fire to try. Yeah, but very fun. Right? At the end of the day, at the end of 1.5 years there, I've raised money. We have made millions. I've gone to Vietnam and Thailand to set up other satellite offices, then bring them to profitability, and then set up a new company which is more on video side of things. Yeah, I managed to do all that within 1.5 years, but then the pay sucked, lah, right? Which I don't blame them. It's a startup. So because the pay sucked, I decided I need my BTO coming in
Okay.
at that time. Because during NS that time I'd be BTO with my wife. Or during uni or something like that.
Yeah.
So I knew at age 27 my BTO would come. I need some real money. I need to propose to my wife first.
Of course
right?
lah.
Last time I asked my wife about synthetic diamonds and her thoughts about it. Because Vulcan Post had a client.
Okay.
Yeah, that was trying to get us to tell people that synthetic diamonds and natural diamonds are the same thing. And it is the same thing. It's just one's made in the lab, one is made in the crust of the earth. But
Okay.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So,
But the value is the same?
value not same. But it's the same thing.
Okay.
It's still diamond.
Yeah
In
lah.
fact, synthetic diamond shinier. They call it luster because they can control the formation of it, right? Whereas the one is like, you step on it. I don't know, like millions of years of pressure to form something is not going to be that perfect, man. You know.
True.
So I told my girlfriend back then about it. Like, hey, what are your thoughts? Then she's like, I think I still prefer natural.
Natural.
You know, my wife now sells diamonds. She sells synthetic diamonds. It really pisses me off. Yeah, so I needed to propose, and so I decided like I had a great time here. I feel like I don't owe them anything already because we made millions
Yeah.
together, and
Yeah.
I made 3K a month.
Okay.
Yeah, so I decided to resign, and that's why my co-founder found me.
After how many years? Then you
Not very long, I think close to 2 years only.
okay.
So like you transition yourself being into this media industry, and then right now you are like having your face in the podcast. I mean, in the whatever channel you are in, right? And
For the channels you see lah, but there are other channels we built you don't see my face in, so you may not know that we operate them, like Vulcan Post.
Okay, yeah, of course. Right, especially on Daily Catchup, like more or less people know you already, right?
Hopefully,
So of course, people
Yeah,
know him
yeah,
already, and like you transition yourself, right? For me personally, right, right now after 5 years of doing podcasts, I see myself on the internet, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like, what the hell am I doing? You know, because for me, I'm more towards the entertainment side. I don't know, for Daily Catchup, is it for like more towards
Informative.
entertainment or information or
I think it's a little bit of both.
both, is it?
I think for me, I wanted something either fun or I learned something. Like after COVID, I bought a small car. Back then, you can buy a COE car for 20 grand. I left 3 years.
Yeah.
So I bought a car, and then during my 20-30 minute drive to work, right, you cannot like fuck around with your Spotify like you used to when you take train.
Yeah.
Right, so after you listen to the same songs every day, then you don't get to like play with the songs and stuff like that because you're driving, ma.
Yeah.
So then I got super bored. Then I'm like, I try to listen to radio, but then as much as I love the DJs, right? Yeah. There's like a lot of times where you don't get to choose the music or like whatever they talk about, you may not care about. And so I decided that we want to create a show for commuting, so that when I drive to work, I either learn something or I laugh along.
Okay.
And people can choose what topic to listen
Totally.
to. Yeah, and that's kind of how the guiding factor of what will we talk about on the Daily Catchup came to be.
About the topic itself, do you discuss with your team or your crew, or it's just a spontaneously that you say, okay, like for example, Achap itself, when we have the discussions, right? When we were recording, okay, Achap is the mastermind. Say, okay, this is the topic.
We just whack lah.
We just
Right.
then we feed each other the informations. You know who to banter. What about yourself? Do you plan the topic itself, or
I think we've done this for quite a while already. So I think it has evolved over the years. When it started when the content strategy thing was 4 people, that we just like kind of go one broad topic, 3 key talking points, then we see what we can get already.
Yeah.
But after a while, I think when it became a little bit more clinical, where we're doing 3 episodes a week, of which 2 or 3 of it might be sponsored, and then we're booked up for months, we cannot afford to film 1 hour and then realize, lame, actually we talk about nothing. So we need to be a bit more clinical about it lah. So right now I'm very blessed. We have a very good team of researchers and producers. So every day ideas are being debated and rejected, and then some make it to filming. But even then we film already, we still sometimes, like yesterday, we just decide not to air something.
What a waste.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the reason usually?
You think there's no oomph?
The guest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then the guys will ask you, bro, where's my episode?
I just pay them lah. I just say no, I mean sometimes it really is not them. It's not their fault. So it's just not everything is a conversation. Not everything is podcast. But it doesn't mean you don't know your shit. It's just, but if you can't present it in a certain way, because the way I see it is that every time we post something, 200,000 people get a notification. They get to choose whether they want to watch it.
Yeah,
And the
exactly.
whole point is that I think what we are trying to do, and I know we do it super imperfectly, we're just like struggling and figuring shit out anyway. We are trying to maintain a consistency that whether or not today we're talking about the latest scandal, which is very juicy, or I'm talking to a doctor about cancer, right?
Okay.
Which can be very far ends of the spectrum, right?
True.
That you can expect a consistent level of entertainment,
Yeah.
Okay.
right? And I feel like we cannot take that for granted. The moment you realize half our stuff you don't care about, half our stuff you don't want to listen to, then only half you like, you get all selective, then I think the brand is tarnished already.
Okay.
So it's about how do we
That's
take
good,
that 30 minutes or 1 hour of people's time seriously. Because I think the feedback we get, at first we were shooting shit. Second, third episode was like, should you eat your own sperm? That kind of like super not serious, you know? We're just trying to talk for the sake of talking, right? But then I think after a certain time we realized that many like parents come to us, right? And then they say like, hey, thank you for the shows that you all do, because I mean, besides the ones that just say very funny, right? Which we also very grateful to them. There's also people that come to us that say that they just play over dinner.
Okay.
And then because of us talking about it, the parents get to talk to their children about it. Or that we get overseas Singaporeans that let us know that this is the part that connects them close to home. You know, that Singaporean accent that make them feel like home. Or people that struggle to eat alone.
Yeah, I understand.
They'll just play and then they listen 30 minutes of us yapping.
Oh, nice.
But you cringe, not looking at yourself, like, look at your own videos. You felt it, like cringe.
I mean, I'm past that already. I think the
Past
first...
that,
I mean, for the first few years, I think lah.
Yeah, I think I've been doing this for like 11, 12 years already.
Yeah. So you don't bother already.
It's considered a pioneer already.
Yeah, of course.
No, I think like numb already lah. Because you realize you cringe at everything, no matter you did well, if the views reflected and the comments reflected, hey, you did well.
Yeah.
You still cringe. If it's a shitty episode, you still cringe. Then you realize your cringe got no value on it. Your cringe is not an indication of shit. It does not tell you whether it's a good or bad episode. So yeah, don't bother the cringe.
I think you used to have this kind of issue before. Still, when you invite guests, I mean, after spending about 1 hour plus talking to the guests, then we realize that wow, this content very dry. But we still have to release it because the guests will ask, hey, when? They feel like they're looking forward, you know. They're looking forward that the episode will be at sooner.
As for us,
Because
we
he
don't
pay,
have
bro.
any choice.
He pay. Shut up, pay.
Hey, it's not like that. It's thank you for your time. I'm so sorry. After reviewing the footage, we feel like it might not be too helpful for the audience.
Of course. Yeah. Nice words lah. Okay, something that we learn lah. Something that we learn lah. But like into this industry, right? You receive any hate before, no, bro?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, I think
Of course lah.
there are lah.
Hater
But
comments definitely.
face to face lah. Hey, Johnathan, I really hate you, bro.
Hey, wow.
Face to face never.
Face to face, never.
You are the first lah.
No, not me. For example lah.
You know what? The saddest one was my mom kena before.
Right.
Alamak.
Your
Yeah.
mom, your family members.
And I mean, it's not too negative. I mean, basically, my wife and I also have a couple channels called John Pat Cross, but it's run by the company.
Okay.
And I think we try and share our marriage and what we've. I mean, I think my wife and I, we are both very privileged to have gone through a lot of things in life, whether it's health issues that we managed to overcome. Once again, very lucky, or like business and stuff like that. And I think one of the things we shared was the biggest fight we had. And the biggest fight we had was that I wanted to house my parents. I don't know about y'all. I think for me as a guy, to be able to house my parents is the greatest glory for me.
course, bro,
It's the sign of I make it.
True, of course.
Right? Like whatever car I drive is not the sign I make it. The car I drive is how much I'm going to splurge on the fucking car, right?
Yeah.
But the moment my parents come under my roof, I feel like this is I've done it already.
A big achievement. Biggest achievement.
I can die, you know?
Yeah.
So that was the vibe I get. But for my wife, it's a bit different. Even though they were tight, they're good, they're very close with my parents. But I think living together, it's a little bit different, right?
True.
And then for her, it's in-law, you know? So it's a bit different. So we got past that. But many, many years ago, when we first got married, my parents moved in for maybe a year or two, which 90% of the time was okay. But the first 2 months, rough. Okay, it was damn rough. There was a lot of adjustments. My wife wanted to hide in the room and stuff like that. I was very candid with my parents, and I told them about this later on. But we did an episode, and I spoke to my mom about it as well to let her know, and how this is natural and how it can be overcome. And when the day my parents' house is ready, and my parents moved out, my wife also cried. I mean, I also cried.
Yeah.
And my wife assured me that anytime your parents want to come back, they will always have a place here. I'm sorry about our first 2 months, you know. And so we shared that story, and there was. I mean, not my demographic very white, right?
Yeah.
So there was this auntie that just saw my mom and be like, hey, aren't you John's mom? And then my mom went her usual PR mode lah, like, hey, thank you for watching. Because my mom like helped me do that, you know?
Okay.
And then the auntie like told my mother off. The young people stuff, can you don't disturb or not?
Alamak.
Yeah,
Some people stuff.
yeah, like along this young couple is very sweet, and we're like, you want to go inside, you almost ruined their marriage and stuff like that. And my mom didn't want to tell me, but she cried about it for weeks. She told my sisters, then my sisters
She
bought her.
wants to talk nicely to her mom, right? To his mom.
No, I mean it's just auntie stuff like, oh, you fat already, you know, you talk nicely lah, but it hurts, you know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Singaporean style lah.
Like, oh, why don't you get a real job? You know, that kind of. They tell you nicely out of love, I guess.
But your mom understand like what you are doing, like the contents and everything.
Yeah, I think took a while. I think
Took a while.
Bro, when I first joined the influencer agency in 2015, influencer was not a real word yet. Back then we called them bloggers.
Oh yeah.
Because Instagram was somewhat a new
Yes.
thing. Facebook had no videos yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had to educate people why we call them influencers, not bloggers anymore. And when we started a digital media company, most of the digital media companies you see today, like the Smart Local or SCAG, for example, they don't even have a sales team yet. They were just content creators that never use their own name. So we helped them sell also. So when I started the company, and then by the time we had like 20, 25 people, we need to do like family day so that they can invite their parents into the office. So I also a child at that time. I'm like 27, right? Yeah. I need to explain to their parents why we are a real business. Because their parents like, what you do? I like sometimes some of them like, I write videos, like I make videos. So you pay to watch this? No, it's free. It's like, So how you make money?
You need to make them understand.
Then the articles that you write for whatever publication that this company does, then it's like, oh, is it must pay to read? No, it's free. Then like parents all get a bit confused, you know?
How do you gain?
Sometimes they're in front of the camera, then so
But how do you grow? Like you know, I have a lot of friends that also like asking me like, hey, I want to do a podcast, but how do you want to grow from, for example, just a podcast into a, maybe I call it like your empire, for example, GRVTY Media.
That is a stretch, but
How do we do that, bro?
I want to say I built other parts of the business before I built the podcast.
Okay.
So it's hard to say. There's a few reasons why I go on screen. Because I have stage fright and anxiety. I don't know whether y'all can tell before the camera roll when I'm in the room that time. I'm just like
You look perfect, bro.
awkward, you know. If you know, like I was giving a lecture at SMU and I'm telling the students I'm shitting myself also. Like, you know, every time I talk, you cannot tell I wear baggy pants because my legs were shake, you know. So it's not natural for me to be in front of the camera. But I think there are two key reasons why. The first one is that I got no money to pay talent fee, right? Especially at the start.
Yeah.
So it's gotta be me. And then one of the first things I did that put me on camera was this show called After Hours, which is the predecessor of Real Talk, which I created under a different company when I was employed.
Okay.
And at that time, we were trying to create Singapore's first talk show about love, sex, and relationship with Eunice Annabelle, Audrey Langley, and Du Francis. And and so not many people, nobody pretty much talk about sex on the internet back then.
Yeah,
so it was hard to recruit also, and company also no budget. So it's like, okay, if I can find 3, then got me and follow. Right? And that's the first reason I came onto screen. The second reason is that I think key man risk is a very big thing. In that obviously there are way better looking, more eloquent people in my company that think faster and are way funnier. But they are that good. And every day I wonder why these very talented people are working at my company when they can go outside and make double. Like every day I look at them and I'm so pleased, you know. I'm so grateful for all of them. And I feel like if every time I put other people first and when they leave, I always say like, thank you for your time here. You know, thank you for spending these years with us.
Yeah.
And then what happens to the shows that we create? If I don't have them anymore, no one's to front the show, no one to create new show. So it's important for me back then as a business if I want to be sustainable. Because if the key talent leave, the show goes to shit, my editor still needs salary. My writer still needs salary. My sales team still needs salary. Yeah, and so it was very important for me to be able to hold a show. Yeah. And so that's why I came on camera. In how to build it, I think we went upstream, downstream, right? At first it was creating video for Vulcan Post. Then after that I got, not very exciting to me, just doing entrepreneurial content and business content. Not sexy right? So we started doing Millennials of Singapore, which was, I mean, basically we inspired by Humans of New York. I use the word inspired very lightly. Then we need micro documentaries. We were the first in Singapore to do micro documentaries on random people. You know, people that got an abortion, they tell their story. People got depression, tell their story. We became like, we were very lucky at that time because we were the only ones. We became like a little bastion of voice for the LGBTQ community, for the mental health community. And then we managed to do, then we created Discover Singapore as Lifestyle Magazine. Then Daniel, under GRVTY as an entrepreneur in residence, he created Playbook, and which is like street culture and sneaker culture at that time. And then we created so many more brands in the years to come, right?
Yeah.
And the only logical step is not to wait for a creative agency or media buyer to carve the budget for us. We needed to move upstream. We needed to take the whole budget and be distributor. And so we went upstream. We became creative agency, became media buying performance agency. And I was very lucky with the first few people that led those parts because they did really well. We won accounts from big agencies, right?
Yeah.
And that allows us to do a few things in a sense whereby creative agency, the moat is very low. Like if the creative director leave, then so what if you are a brand name creative agency?
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? So what our brands allowed my creative agency to be is that every creative agency, and I like to tell this to my people, right? Or students as well, every creative agency can take over DBS social media because they are known brand, or Coca-Cola social media. They are known brand. You know their brand voice. You know their design.
Yeah.
You can create content. Maybe campaigns a bit more difficult, but you can create content for them easy, right? But how many creative agency can say day in, day out, every month they create content from scratch, in-house, that's seen by millions of people? Yeah, how many creative agency built their own publication, built their own podcast, built their own documentary, built their own comedy channel, their own celebrity talk shows? Like very few. Yeah, so very few. So many people are trying to create their own podcast. They're trying to create a talk show. They're trying to create comedy. They're trying to create infotainment. And so you can trust the pitch deck is good. Or if you come to GRVTY Media, you probably might have seen our stuff already, and that's why you're here. Yeah.
You see, I'm very intrigued the process of you creating whatever podcast or media that you are doing. Do you have the teams, or how many staff do you have in order for you to execute a project itself? Meaning as such, if let's say you want to create something, right? You have your creative team, you have the sales team, or you are the one who decide or make the decision first, then input by the other staff, or it's just a collectively all staff ideas, this kind
It's
of thing?
both. It's both.
Oh.
I think, like for example, early days, right, when we were building Millennials in Singapore, we had. Oh, sorry, but this came out recently on a podcast. I'm so sorry, but I'm just gonna repeat it.
it's
We
okay.
assume
It's
it's
okay.
audience, Millennials in Singapore was very diverse as a brand, right? Because we talk about like all the different mental health stuff, blah blah blah. Then like the left movement coming out, and the Me Too movement coming out. So I started hiring for diversity. We got like more interns, and then every race, all 4 races, all inside one MOSG team. And then we realized cannot get anything done because everybody thinks everything is dangerous, everything is cancelable, everybody feels like they're pandering to a certain community. So then the stuff we create, right, like stood for nothing. It was not why we had millions of views anymore. And so that existed in a flux for a few months, and then I reorganized the team and I say, okay, do this. But I may be wrong lah. But at least we know this part wrong.
So
then
you are the one who made the decision first, huh?
At first it was like that.
Okay.
But I think now, I mean, I'm very lucky lah. The people that joined, they stay with me for a long time. And so they have absorbed a lot of my decision as well. So I have a lot of people whereby if Daniel, for example, gives it the okay, I know I will have given it the okay. Like if John Paul gives a certain feedback, I know it's more comprehensive than the feedback that I will give. If Denise say the episode is good, even if I don't like it, I trust her more.
Okay.
I see.
Because you already have the chemistry, I think.
Yeah, I think
A
it's
good team.
Trust also,
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
team.
but it's also like letting your team try.
Yeah.
Like it took a while to get there, right? Like John Paul, when he first joined me that time, John Paul was from the Smart Local. He started their YouTube team. He was like YouTube OG in Singapore. Like YouTube, right, follows him on Instagram, that kind. And he also came in running. There are a lot of things he wanted to build, a lot of things I disagree with. But I told him, let's
I'm
go and
about
build.
to ask.
Yeah, how much budget you need, or no need budget, then just go and do. How much manpower you need, then just go and do. And then I will tell him that these are the problems I anticipate. Try and overcome them. If cannot, but maybe I might be wrong.
Okay.
So then he would try, and then most of the time he would find the problems that I anticipated. And then he learns to trust me. Because if you keep saying no, it cannot be done, I feel like your team will be like, but you are uncle ma.
Yeah.
You don't know ma. What makes you think you know better? Maybe your execution was weak. You try before, sure you try before, but are you me? You know? So to a certain extent, you have to test their metal and let them test your metal.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you do that enough, then we have trust.
Okay.
Yeah, they trust my input, and I trust whether they are able to think about the thing holistically. And so right now, honestly, my whole team is way more talented and more balanced than me. I just got really lucky, dude.
How big is your team right now? How many staff you have?
Right now, we have like 35.
35.
Oh my God.
But they are probably a bunch of stuff lah. We got
Yeah lah,
creative
of course
agency and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow.
It's very lean actually, the team. My team a bit overworked. I'm very sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
But how do you, sorry bro, how do you want to sustain? Like you guys are keep on looking for sponsors, or how do you want to sustain the business?
At this point,
Yeah.
all our projects are inbound. So
see.
we're quite lucky in that regard. But here and there, like every year, it's how you do your BD, right? Some people think that BD is I need to go networking session and give people name card and shake my hand and stuff like that.
Are you going to get
That's not what we
any
do.
more projects, or you know already that this year forecast that you have this certain of companies that you sponsored? Are you going to extend more avenues for your business in the sense that, okay, this is 12 companies that you are involved with, for the sponsors or for the government's bodies.
Yeah.
Are you going to stop that? Are you going to prolong or extend?
I think it's very important that we are on beat and on trend. So sometimes a client comes in and wants us to talk about certain things, but it's off trend. We'll just tell them to wait for the next news cycle. So we would, because if you spend the money on my team to do this, I need to deliver a certain amount of traction.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not confident on that because of the news cycle, then I would delay you.
Okay.
Yeah. But for the most part, no lah, we are not that good lah. Like basically, people come in and then there's inquiries that we're farming, we make sure the pipeline at the top is always thick because it will funnel down. So we try and operate that we are booked out hopefully 2 to 3 months in advance.
Okay.
So if we are not booked out 2 to 3 months in advance, then I gotta make some calls lah.
Oh, but not now. No, don't have to make some
Now it's
calls.
fully booked,
No, actually book up.
Now, I mean, hard to say lah. I tell you, I'm 36 years old already, you know. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm playing a young man's game. I think at any time.
You should. I mean, as a boss, you think that way. You should think that you are, you have to cater their mind.
But I mean that in a way whereby I won't say I'm fully prepared, but I fully expect that any time all of this can crumble.
Okay.
I just need to make sure that we have the cash mode and the things that we are doing is defensible such that the livelihoods of the other 34 people are not affected. Because I think the biggest thing as an employer is if your team stay and raise a family with you, they get married with you, you know, they buy a house while working for you. You know what I mean? I think that to me, to a certain extent only, signals that they feel like there's a real career here. We're not shooting shit, we're not fucking around here, you know? It's a real thing here. They're spending the prime of their lives here.
Of course.
And so when they do that, then the responsibility is back on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? What's the company going to be 3 to 5 years time? Are they confident of the future? Are we building the new thing or not? Because people can see, Daily Catchup is an old brand, right? When we first started, maybe 2 years in, 3 years in, the views to subscriber ratio is 2x, 3x. When we got 50,000 subscribers, we got 100,000 views. Okay. Now we got 150,000 subscribers. The views still swing between 30 to 200,000. So by that metric, is the Daily Catchup declining? Yeah. And I have to be okay with that. So we have to pivot the show. We need to renew the show. And then we need to also start investing in new shows. Yeah.
But what are your thoughts like right now? Everyone, they want to be influencer, they want to have their own podcast, they want to be in the media. You know, especially we have TikTok right now. Like everyone can create content, and sometimes with the new set of algorithm in for TikTok, I don't know. It seems like even you have like, for example, 100 followers, but you can get about 100,000 views or 200,000 views with one video. Let's say it's viral lah. What type of content I don't know lah. Maybe the content is about scandal, controversial lah. Can go up to like even
usually
a million.
Piss somebody off lah, right?
Piss somebody off, race bait here and there. So what are your thoughts? Like how do you want to, of course, be competitive in the market? Like everyone can create content, bro. Why do I need to listen to this? Like we got so many choices.
Yeah, I think the democratization of content is a good thing. I think I always tell young people this, that you must invest in content. You must invest in your own personal branding and profile. You further down the line, you want to be FA, property agent, you want to sell durian, also you get more sales than the experienced fellas because you got more followers, you got more traffic. Yeah, so I think that in itself is a good thing. Like, but when you bring that to the survival of my company, I feel like the people inside know how difficult it is to do it and to keep it up. And I'm sure you guys understand that as well.
True.
Right? And like you talked about, a lot of your friends tell you, hey, I want to create a podcast, give me some tips, blah, blah, blah. You can give their tips lah. You can lend them the mic. Can they make the podcast? Can they make the common folk? Can they rebuild this show? It's difficult. And even if they can do it one time, can they do it 5 times? Can they do it 3 years? Can they do it 5 years? You know better than me that this is a difficult grind and people will come and go, and if you thrive on creating scandalous content or rage baits only, then at some point people will be tired of your rage bait. And when people take a step back and question what you stand for and why do you exist, I think you must be defensible why you are doing this. I think as long as you have that, then it's really about tweaking your content, make it a bit more entertaining, try to make it funnier. But you got content or not, like I love right now where the wave is going in property agents. They're being like, last time property, what happens inside a property transaction is like only agent know. Any agent.
Yeah.
An agent tell me to rent my house. I find the person want to rent my house already. I still cannot like, how about you just give me $3,000, you come into my house. And you get agent. You give me a mystery piece of contract that we need to sign with like fucking 4 pages. Like, why is it like, don't fuck up my house and return to my house, But I love this wave of property agents. Come on, I can view the house first. You don't give me a thumbnail and then I decide I want to go and see that actually the place is a shoebox, or you tell me the process. I know why I'm paying you your 4%, your 2%, your 1%. That makes sense to me. I love that. But even as property agents know, how much property content can you create?
Yeah, it's true.
At some point, you realize, shit, you're doing the same thing everybody's doing.
Yeah.
But your starting point was not right. Your starting point is gonna be different. This is tough. So now when you reach this different, and your girlfriend or your boyfriend says, "Shall we buy a house?" Now what's the thing? He tells you, "I need to get a real job."
Yeah, understand.
Yeah, so like this hits everybody.
Yeah.
But you, or like for GRVTY Media, we've invested in this. We are here for good. Right? We protect our reputation, we build our moat. We are a creative agency with our own media brands. We are a media brand with a creative agency. And then we are trying to spawn other businesses as well and stuff like that to try to defend the company.
Do you set any barriers in the kind of discussion or conversation like you have in the podcast? Like, what's the barrier like? Like you can go into this, like there must be certain barrier. Right?
Ish. I think there must be a net benefit in what we do.
Yeah.
Which is not always a very simple thing to do. Like when Property Link Brothers and Grace scandal came out, like
Oh shit. Yeah.
you do anything also will go viral.
Yeah.
As a content company, it's your bloody responsibility to leverage this wave.
Exactly.
If not, you're putting your values ahead of your people. You know, I mean that's a bastard way to say it, right?
Of course.
But then you have to make the decision. Like no lah. I mean Melvin's a friend.
Yeah.
I've been on his podcast, and whatever he did in his discretionary time does not affect our friendship.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so instead of weighing in another comment about whether we hate adultery or whatever not, we decide we go and find like PIs, and let PIs just give us tips. How do you know your spouse is cheating on you? What are the common tactics that PIs use to check you, right? I mean, everybody learns something, we laugh about it, everybody kind of know what we're talking about, but there's a net benefit. Yeah, so that's what I try to do. Like, our content must not hurt people.
Okay.
Sometimes it does, and we miss the mark.
It's
right?
not a personal attacks. It's just
Never.
on
Yeah. If anybody gets marginalized or attacked as a result of our content, believe that we simply fucked up. It was never the intention. Yeah.
Okay.
How about like cursing or vulgarities? Do you guys put any barrier? Because for me,
No.
right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I not supposed to swear on this show?
No.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
No,
Like
I mean on your own show. I mean, do you do vulgarities?
No, we be ourselves. We just go.
just be yourself.
The algorithm punishes you if you swear too much, especially in the first 5 minutes.
Oh really? Yeah.
So if you watch the Daily Catchup properly, we either beep it all or we only beep the first 5 minutes.
Oh shit! I didn't know. Thank you for this.
I mean, that was my understanding last time. Things
is
changed.
it?
I don't know.
Like I receive complaints, like face to face. Sometimes a makcik came up to me and say, "Hey Ashraf, please lah. I mean, mind your language lah. I listen to your podcast,
Yeah.
You curse too much." And then I was like, "Alamak, I didn't know got makcik listens, yeah."
Yeah.
So from there, like you wake up a bit lah. Like, okay lah, I need to maintain a bit lah. Now people, this kind of people.
But you're not
here-
maintaining.
Yeah, be myself lah. I just like to be myself lah. Try to avoid lah.
I mean, just be yourself lah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just one comment doesn't hurts, bad reputations. That's all.
I mean, no one's gonna come up to you and be like, "Oh, I love the way you swear."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a one-sided feedback on that.
But if you remove yourself, for example, from any of the show that you are in, right, the show will still go on as per normal, right?
That's what I try to do after 1 year of everything I built.
Okay.
So the Daily Catchup has 6 people, including me.
You
So-
feel tired about it?
No, I think continuity is important, and I think to a certain extent, I think to be a good podcaster, right, you must live a adventurous life.
Yeah, true.
You must have gone through shit, so
Then
you
you
have
got story.
perspective and stories. Yeah,
perspective. True.
and so in order to do that and to keep myself fresh as well, I need to always step aside when I can.
Okay.
Such that, let's say, today you got a sponsor is talking about, it's a gynecologist that come in and want to talk about women's like fem health. So maybe I'm the gynecologist, the 3 of y'all weigh in. The episode did really well. 6 months later, they're like, "Hey, I want to do another collaboration. You got new questions?"
No.
Yeah, but the vagina is still the vagina. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now I have the ability. I'm gonna swap this 2% out. 2 more person come in.
Okay.
Are you going?
And it's all the Daily Catchup.
Are you going to like,
Okay.
for example, gynae just now? You hits up with the rest of your team. Stated that learn about his profile first. Or what are the questions that you're going to impose in future? All the
Is
startup
it all
really-
planned out? Is it?
all planned out? This kind of thing, or it's just spontaneous?
We have a research team. So
Okay.
the show knows everything about that person.
Okay.
Right? But not everybody on the table knows everything about that person.
Shida.
I see.
Yeah. So what I do is I always go in blind.
Oh,
Yeah.
to spice it up.
I mean,
Just go
the
blind,
whole point is
that's
that when
why.
you do a lot of research and you read the script, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
you try and keep to a certain talking point, you try and draw that sandbox.
Too scripted.
Then sometimes that person will just mention things like a term that you just never hear before. But all three of you understand because you read the script.
Yeah.
Then I have to be the one that represent the audience and be like, sorry, what is fem health? Then
you get the blur one,
health, you know?
Okay.
Either the blur one or sometimes you talk until the things no longer make sense really. But because you're working with the clients, for example, or you've pre-interviewed the doctor, and so you kind of follow through, you know the gist of it, but the sentence structure don't make sense. Somebody needs to call it out. Because what's the point of a podcast?
Okay.
Right? You all must represent the listeners, ma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you put your listeners first? I mean, sorry, your viewers or listeners first, or your client first for content?
I put my people first.
Your
Right?
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why that's different and why that's not fluff, right? Is that this means that clients are important because without clients, I cannot sustain them.
True.
Okay.
But yeah, at the same time, if I say yes to this client, it affects the brand and their livelihood down the road, and you say no to this client.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think putting the people first, the people that are building whatever things I'm building with me. Yeah. That must come
Because
first.
sometimes like you sure receive some feedback from your fans or whoever listen to your show, right? Hey, I don't like the way you guys talk this time around. You know, a bit playing safe or anything.
Yeah.
Because certain clients, they have their certain guidelines that we need to follow. But at the same time, you are hurting your fellow listeners. Like they don't get you.
Yeah.
So how do you manage that, man?
I think it's something that you have more bargaining power the bigger the show gets.
Okay.
After a while, you try and explain to the client that you need to fit into the show. If the show changed for you, then this is a shitty show.
True.
And you're buying a subpar version of what you think you're buying. And clients that understand that will understand we protect them.
Is it hard? You know, most clients will understand or just some of them?
Most are 99% of our clients are great.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, but sometimes you kena one, it's not the fella fault lah.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
boss just damn scared or. And how many people go on podcast before? So then they're trying to control. Or sometimes you get the Prime Minister, for example. You want to crack a joke, you want to be real lah, but at what expense? Right? You're going to create a diplomatic role with Malaysia. Are you going to, if people only watch your show and not the news, are you going to showcase that it's okay to disrespect the office of Prime Minister?
Yeah.
You know, so like there are certain things that are a bit more important than our show. For those things we step aside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understand. Actually, it's quite hard to become podcaster actually.
Yeah.
You cannot
You are a
please- you
fantastic
cannot please
podcaster, you would know.
No, very hard, bro. Sometimes I look at myself like, what the hell am I doing? Like now, actually, I think, what the hell am I doing? Because over the years, when I do podcasts, I receive a lot of complaints. For me, personally, I mean, for you, it's great, lah.
No, I also get complaints lah.
Oh, okay, what type of complaints you get?
They will tell me that they don't like you when I interrupt people.
Bro, that one normal, lah, bro. You always
Yeah.
interrupt, right?
No,
It's
I mean,
podcast, what?
so okay, what we do in post production,
Yeah.
right, is that we would reorder the podcast to make sure that it's on beat,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, true.
But we want to make sure that the guests look good. Because how this started out is from Millennials of Singapore. If I invite you, for example, let's say you're sharing what is it like to have depression, right? If you go on my channel, I never protect you. You cannot cyberbullied for telling your story.
Yeah.
Then you get depression again.
Okay.
It's on me. That was one of the first video brands I built, Millennials of Singapore. So it's a core value of my company. We protect the guests that come on the show.
Okay.
If I take down an episode like we filmed and we never air it, it's because we are protecting the guests of the show. This is going to affect your business when people realize that you got no substance, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true,
So
it's true.
it's all about protecting them. Yeah. And so, sorry, I forgot why I digressed to that. What was the question again?
No, but I mean, sorry, coming to that,
Yeah.
it's different. Because for us, like, for me personally, sorry to say this, sometimes we have guests that are like, you know, they cannot talk or anything, but we still air it.
Right.
And now I realize that at the end of the day, he will pay the price.
Yeah.
Because people will slam him, bro.
Yeah.
Him or her lah.
True lah. Yeah.
But because for our
People will start to
listeners,
judge him already.
for our
Yeah.
listeners, they will take this as a joke, like, this one cannot talk lah, what nonsense lah. this one.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, it's
we
quite
being
true,
we are humiliating. the
Yeah,
person.
yeah. Quite true.
Oh, anyway, I remember why I said that.
Ah.
So the point of protecting.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck, I forgot again lah. Chihuahua.
Protecting the guests.
Can you cut this part for me? Shit.
Protecting the
When you were
guests, right?
talking, I could remember. Then after that, I wait for you to finish. Then I forget.
Just now we mentioned like you mentioned about protecting the guests, like the millennials, the show just now we mentioned.
Never mind, I think move on. I forgot my point.
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry, it's been a long day.
So like just now also you mentioned, if you remove yourself, you can remove yourself. But how about your fans or people who love you to watch you?
Where got fans on?
Got lah, bro. You influencer, what?
They just want you to
No, I'm a shit influencer, bro. If I were trying to promote myself, can you imagine 10 years later I got 30,000 followers? Such a joke.
Okay lah, bro.
No, I think I don't think I have a fan relationship with anybody. I think very special one, and my DMs are very sacred. Like the DMs I get, right? People share with me their life. They tell me they are last straw. They want to commit suicide. Can we talk?
Okay.
Yeah, like I was starting a new business. My wife is pregnant. I just want to tell you. Or like a student that interviewed me and said like last week I just got one. I got 3 in a day. I damn near cried that day. Like the student said that I just graduated. I got my masters, and it's because of like that. I credit that interview with you.
Okay.
And then I just wanted to update you. Then like, bro, I don't even remember when I spoke to you. Like 3-4 years ago already, you know.
Oh.
And it's like my DMs are like that. So
That's your friends, bro.
it's people that grow up with me, you know, like when we talk about my sunat story, I got sunat at 18. I talked about it on Real Talk. And it's like a horde of boys with phimosis. You know what is phimosis?
No.
Basically foreskin tight. Never pull over the
Okay.
kepala buto, you know. Yeah, so
You guys sunat 18 years old.
I got sunat because my foreskin cannot pull over. So like sex hurt.
18 years old, pain lah, bro. Hurt or not?
I mean pain, but also like sex hurt lah.
Nowadays sunat mana yang sakit?
But 18 years old different, bro.
Sakit lah,
Sakit,
sakit
bro.
lah. Sakit.
They can put you to sleep first, what?
No. The process not sakit.
Okay.
Recovery sakit.
And after that, we
I got infection also very sakit.
Alamak.
Yeah. Like I cannot even change dressing. Bloody they got the pus oil stick on my cock.
really?
Then they had to unpick the stitches, squeeze out the pus like 3 days after surgery. Then after that, there's like a little cavity under my dick. Then the doctor had to tell me, like, I thought the doctor was gonna come back and stitch it out after they squeeze out. I want to die already, you know. I look at my girlfriend at that time, which is my wife now. I say, if there's a cavity on my dick, can we just leave with it? I cannot stitch already. Like, let's just deal with a broken dick already. Then she's like, yeah, it's okay, it's fine. Yeah, but in the end, the doctor said no need to stitch. And then it grew back lah. Like a fucking Wolverine of a penis. I love it. So anyway, because of that, then like, people just come and tell me, they tell me about their penis, you know what I mean? They tell me about their foreskin is tight. They tell me they broke up, they cannot get over this girl, this boy
Random,
got fired from the job. Can you intern for me? I just want to intern you for free 1 week. I just want to be able to have access to you for 1 week. Like, dude, that's so magical. So it's not a fan. Like nobody treats me like.
You kind of penis counselor.
Yeah, like,
But people do come up to you like, bro. Hey, I watch your show, bro. Hey, it's a great show. You know?
yeah, take picture lor.
Take
Complimenting.
picture.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, people take picture.
Not everywhere lah.
Really, yeah.
Why would everywhere?
I think you are quite a well-known figure in Singapore, bro. I don't know lah.
I think nobody cares lah. I think a lot of people see Tapping Hui also don't want to go and take picture. Right? I mean, you see Zoe Tay, you like run. I think no lah.
Does it intrude your privacy? You know, if let's say people you
Oh,
are
yeah.
about to go for dinners with your
yeah.
wife, then say, hello, can I take photo with you?
No, I think we are not that famous.
Okay.
I'm sure there is a point you can get like macam Logan Paul, you cannot walk, then it's a bit tough.
Oh, of course lah.
But for me, it's still fun. I'm in a very fun, sweet spot.
Nice.
Yeah, very fun, sweet spot. Where it just feels good. It's just grateful for the opportunity. Sorry, like being very PC. Like you all can ask me anything. I don't care.
Sure, okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, like being in the media, right? Of course, you will. We need to be creative, lah. So, do you like watch a lot of YouTubes, like? Where
get
do you get the
reference,
ideas? Get reference from from the West, for example.
No, I try and go through life. I think that's my main source of inspiration. You go through life, then after that you realize you got some questions, right? Then you need to Google the questions, then that brings you to some YouTube videos.
Okay.
Or like you're just damn bored and like the local content won't do it. Your own content won't do it. Each other's content won't do it. Then you find where you lead on YouTube. Then you're like, can I do this? You know, I think that's my... It's more of now we are very clear. We want to, like, I'm doing a dating show now.
Yeah.
Oh, dating show.
Yeah, we're making a dating show.
In Phuket, right?
Thank you. We are completing the casting, and then we're gonna fly everybody to Phuket to do a dating show. So because of that, now we know we're gonna make a dating show. You can bet I watch 100 dating shows already lah.
Yeah, of course.
She does sign up already, no?
Sign up already. But like, okay, you want to do a dating show. Where do you get the budget? Like, is it from straight away from sponsors, or you will come out first with your own money?
Your own fund, yeah.
Both of them.
Both also have.
Yeah, last time we would take a bit longer. We would try and get funding first, or we would try and like scale it down until it's free. It's like $500. But now when it's like a $35,000-$40,000 idea, we either try and get sponsors, but for this one, no. This one we
Self-funded.
100%.
every year I make a bet, right? Every year I look at the state of country and the state of business, and I will make a bet on where we will go to next year. Because I try and build a brand every year. Not every year success, and last year I made a bet. I told my team that Singapore is existing in a weird flux now. We are anti-immigrant. We don't want to make babies, and we don't want to pay more tax. Singapore cannot exist in this flux. More than 5 years, there will be a revolution. And so I made a bet. Society will bet on TFR. Yeah, and this is before any context from the government and whatnot. Then when the budget came out, COS came out, and then TFR was the main thing. We're like, let's go. By the time we already produced the show already. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. Creating a parenting channel as well from a father's point of view.
Okay.
Oh, a lot of channel, bro.
But not everything hit. Every year we try and create one or two, then one succeed, one die, that kind of stuff. But so, I have no love for the brand one.
So the one that not succeed, how what happened? Do you close it?
Close
Cut the losses.
Open and close.
Because it's the same group of people I'm investing in. It's not the brands that I'm investing in. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like Real Talk at its height, every video few 100,000 views overnight. When I feel like we are done. We can it really. Yeah, there's no point continuing. Then we just can it. I abandoned the channel. I never changed the channel name. You go in Google Real Talk now. It's still 200,000 subscribers on Real Talk channel. It's just like that, lor.
You cannot be the sentimental. If let's say if that make losses, we just cut it off. Or you just say, okay, why not we give another one season? You know,
we do. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes we do. It depends. Okay. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get sponsor demand, but you no longer have the crowd's demand.
Okay.
Sometimes you have the crowd's demand, but you don't have sponsors.
So where does it go? Sponsor demands or based on your? You know?
I take care of my people first.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah,
of course, true. But for me, right, what I'm thinking is like, for example, in a podcast, for me myself, 3%, same like this podcast also. But
well, you missed the podcast, yeah.
I love that podcast. I love it, bro. But if I remove someone or myself, right, or someone that is more well known or people love him, the show wouldn't be the same already.
Yeah.
Then the brand will eventually die.
Yeah.
Then I was thinking like, if I can shift, like for example, like your style, I don't know whether I can get the same amount of viewership or not. So how do you want to kind of sustain that viewership or maybe increase that viewership if you remove yourself or you remove this guy?
You can't do this overnight. You can't. So if the three of you are what makes the show work, the three of you plus a guest, then next episode, swap him out. Then let him come back the following episode. And you do that
slowly.
So everybody is used to any one of y'all missing.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, then after that, you bring in a new person. Then, the new person must also have some form of standard, right?
Of course.
The public not going to accept everybody, right?
Of course.
Yeah, then you slowly train. So if the person that come in needs some training, it's probably their first time hosting a podcast. Because we don't have like professional podcast hosts in Singapore, right?
Yeah.
So then that person is going to suck, but then the two of you are just going to laugh at that person. Then the audience is going to feel sorry for that person. Then he's going to say, you're very bad. Why y'all keep bullying her? Then let's give her a chance. I love her. Then now you build brand love for her.
Okay.
The next one, she kicks you out. Then she will replace you.
Yeah. I never think about that before. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. This is my second job, okay? We just anyhow. That's why I tried. Then maybe the timing lucky or
of course, like you experience. That's why I want to ask you, bro.
But I got really lucky. I want to say my whole life I've been a very lucky man. My whole life.
But do you get tired of doing this, or do you have any other kind of passion that you love to do that you haven't explored yet? Maybe I don't know, farming or what.
Yeah, farming. I like animals. I think media was never my thing.
Serious?
Because I mean, if you're camera shy and then you got stage fright, you don't really want to be on stage. Like, I can't believe media really is your thing. And then neither am I an investigative journalist. I'm not that. Like, my brain doesn't work so fast also. But I felt like media was important. At first it was a job. Then I became run it, right? But media is important in that there are a lot of things I want to do that is just for me. And having reach and media allows me to do certain things. Can I share something I'm building?
Yeah, sure. Please.
So, we are at MVP stage now. We have not launched it yet. But I'm trying to create a platform whereby just neighbors provide service to neighbors. Can I share why first?
Okay.
I think Singapore is one of the last few countries in the world where $20 you can eat 3 meals.
Okay.
Right? That's one thing. The other one is that I think money gives you agency. Agency to say no to domestic abuse. Agency to get out of a situation. Agency, you know what I mean? Like free will, right? Agency to get out of an abusive relationship. Agency to say no. Agency to tell your children, yes, if they want to join taekwondo and then the school provides taekwondo as a CCA, but then need to buy the gi $110. But if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you tell them don't join taekwondo. How about you just join computer club? You know what I mean? Like, the ability to say yes to that agency. And I think the other thing is that there are very few jobs in Singapore now, right, where it's worth $20 an hour.
Okay.
Let me get part-time job now. $20 an hour is rare. It's rare.
Correct.
Can you believe that cleaning is still $20 an hour?
Cleaning.
You don't need qualifications for that.
I thought it's lesser. No.
Bro, you go to Helpling, you book $60 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Okay.
You can book 1 hour. So it's $20 an hour. So can that auntie, that uncle that stay at level 4 on demand, no need to book in advance, come and help you out? I mean, I love Helpling. I use Helpling. But I'm trying to build this thing.
Your contact point, huh?
I'm trying to build this thing for a segment of Singapore that's about to be displaced by automation.
Okay.
For a segment of Singapore that's unemployable. Like MSF is one of my clients, right? Ministry of Social Family Development. There are more jobs now than there are people looking for jobs. Like in B10, B20, like bottom 10, bottom 20 percentile of society.
Yeah.
People that live in rental flats, for example, the government bring them go E2I, go in job match.
Yeah.
And then steady got real private employers willing to take a chance on them. Then on the third day, they decide, fuck off, I go home.
Yeah.
Like, these are people with certain conditions in life already that they just cannot hold 9 to 5, and their children might pay for it.
Yeah, true.
And I'm trying to see whether I can create a platform that is trust-based. How can I make trust the important factor here? That if let's say we all go to your house, we makan tonight. Then after that, I wash dishes, because I'm going home, right?
Yeah.
Then be like, John, don't wash, I'll do it. Then I'll be like, really? Then ciao. Now you got so much dishes, it's also quite sian. You don't want to do it. It's 11 p.m. How can you just book something in level 4, take the lift up to you? Level 12, go down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay,
They just help you do that. You pay them $20 an hour. Are you willing to pay $20 an hour? Yeah. How about $18? Yeah. And then these $18 do not go to a foreign worker with fractionalized time. It goes to your neighbor.
Okay,
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do for. But a lot of problems lah.
Yeah, of course.
We want to do chores, cooking, child minding. A lot of problems then come. I can poison the whole block. I can go and steal your girlfriend panties. I can burn your Chanel while ironing. It's possible. I feel like that's 1%. I feel like for 99%, there's a real use case here, and I feel like there are groups of people, like with AI coming, there are groups of people that are still sitting in office. People will look out for them. Because like Gen AI come here, I'm not gonna fire my designers. I'm gonna train them to use Gen AI faster than everybody. Right? I mean, when I say I train them, not I train, like we're gonna make sure they can. Not me, I don't know shit, right?
But you don't want to use AI.
But I feel like there are drivers, for example.
Yeah.
When automatic cars come in, right?
Yeah.
Like Grab just cannot retrain 70,000 drivers on the road.
Yep. True.
Yeah, and these people are going to suffer. And I think the generation that come before us, our parents, they are the last one already. They are the last generation. Their O level is still a very high qualification.
Yeah.
They don't have insurance. They don't have proper savings. And they are fully reliant on their CPF life, and their CPF life never hit full retirement sum.
Yeah. True.
Our parents' generation is the last one really. We just need to take care of this generation. And then when we are the old fucks, right, we'll be okay. Hopefully, if not World War III, but either way we die. Right? So this whole thing is to take care of that. I'm trying to do that. And to be able to do this, burn money one, because let's say I come and clean your house, you like me, you take my number lah, then you don't need to go through the app, you don't need to pay John Chua
directly.
a dollar, right? Then you will leak. I'm trying to make sure you don't leak, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to ask for $1 only. But even if you leak, so be it. And the people must be okay with that. So can I raise money? Yes, I can raise money, but my investors will expect a return, so I cannot raise money, right? Then regulation will be a problem.
Yeah, quite hard, bro.
Yeah, so someone needs to be able to navigate government regulation, and someone must, and that person that's building it must be okay to not raise money, self-fund it, navigate government regulation, and okay to lose money due to leakages. I feel like it has to be me.
But you still pursue your
Yeah,
plans.
it's almost built already.
Oh, almost built.
Yeah.
It's an app, bro.
Yeah, hoping to launch in June.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, how about your support?
Yes,
Thank
definitely.
you very much.
We'll wish you all the best for the app.
Thank you.
And my last question will be like, with AI coming in, right? I've seen this post. I don't know whether it's fake news or not, but it's still a news. Like even influencer right now is becoming into AI. They can use AI to be influencer.
Yeah.
And then can
Scary,
can promote brands, bro. Can promote everything. Even for video editors right now, a lot of them has been removed from company because AI can edit the videos faster and much more. So what are your takes on this, bro? You will invest on AI to cut costs to save for the company, or you will spend for your people?
I tried to follow the tutorials. Have you all tried? Follow the tutorials, try and play by play, recreate an entire video that you're gonna shoot.
One only. After that, I give up.
But damn difficult.
Yeah, difficult.
Is that like damn simple? Like you do it halfway, then you realize, oh my gosh, shoot easier. Right or not?
Yeah.
So I think we're not there yet. I'm not too concerned about that.
Okay.
When it comes, I'll meet it head on. But I'm making sure that my people can manage to save time because of it. But right now, what we are doing is that there are 3 separate teams in my office that is experimenting with their own version of agentic AI to be able to automate tasks like traffic, script writing and stuff like that. Then all 3 of them are autonomously building. Actually 4 of them plus my CTO of my new company is also building. They are autonomously building, having like intimate understanding of how other company works. Yeah, and so when they have something, we will test. And then, I mean, the future play, the GRVTY Media 3.0 could be that we help you create agentic services.
Oh yeah.
Right? As opposed to I just automate everything, I fire everybody. My people will help you automate your life. So you don't have to look at it and be like, well, I shoot myself easier. I set it up for you. Then
nice.
No, I don't need to fire anybody. You don't need to hire anybody. Nobody lost their job as a result.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe lastly, an advice to the younger generation lah, if they want to do content or anything.
Become an influencer.
Yeah.
Don't.
I want to be like Johnathan.
That is a terrible aspiration. I think I have to fall back to a cliche that I tell students all the time when I get to meet them. That I think I've had the privilege running Vulcan Post and the Daily Catchup and New Okema to be able to speak to some of the most brilliant minds and CEOs in Singapore. I've come to learn that nobody knows anything. I think that's the bad news, that nobody can tell you what's coming. Nobody can tell you what's next.
True,
Yeah.
But I think that's the good news also, that we are all on the same even playing field. Nobody knows what's up. And nobody's that smart. Yeah, I always feel like the example I give is that like the CEO of DBS Bank, the world's strongest bank, one of my favorite clients as well. Their CEO is not sitting there with a playbook in the back pocket like I'm going to reinvent. I have the plan to reinvent banking, but I'm not going to execute yet.
Yeah, of course.
So everybody's just waiting to figure out what's next. Then we're going to experiment, then we're going to try. So the world's your oyster. Is still a big ocean for anybody. We're all in the same starting point. Just go and try.
Man, thank you so much, John, for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
Really great to have this session with you. And guys, if you guys are listening, you guys can support also Daily Catchup.
Yeah.
Can
Thank
check out the
you.
show and can follow you on Instagram.
Okay, please follow me. You do you lah.
Yeah, but thank you so much. I hope one day we can, to have some collaboration also.
Sure, yes. We invite you all before.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're never respond.
Alamak.
Yeah.
Never respond. Alamak.
Fuck him.
I came to your show before you come to mine.
Sure. I will. Sorry, I never check email.
It's like that lah. When you up there, we didn't expect you all to reply so lah.
Thank you so much, man. Dan kepada kawan-kawan kita, kalau ada masalah, kalau nak mencari solution untuk problem yang korang ada ni, boleh hubungi Adele Law LLC.
Betul tu. Kau boleh follow mereka di Facebook, Instagram dan TikTok @adele.law.llc ataupun langsung laman website mereka di adelaw.com.sg.
Okay, not to mention you can book an appointment. WhatsApp di talian 83997923 83997923 atau just walk in office at 190 Lorong 6 Tua Payoh, unit number 02-512.
InsyaAllah kita akan jumpa korang on the next episode. Bye-bye.
See you.